Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at facebook.com/Region Sports and regionsports.com. We come to you tonight from Lake Central High School as the Region Sports Network presents the Lake Central Indians taking on the Andrean 59ers and a boys basketball showdown. I'm Michael Brenner. I have the play-by-play for tonight's ball game. And joining me with the color analysis is the one and only Coach Doug Nelson. Coach, it's great to be with you again.
It's exciting to be back in the gym. We're out of the weather of the football situation, and we have a nice early season matchup here with two teams that genuinely do not like each other. So
yes.
Two student sections that are going to be fired up and ready to go. Should be an exciting evening.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Yeah, as you mentioned, two teams that do not like, two schools that do not like each other. So very excited for this one, NCC versus DAC. And, Coach, when you look at the history of this matchup, just going back to 2013, this will be the 9th matchup between these two schools, and they are dead even at 4 apiece. Lake Central with 4, Andrean with 4. Something's going to give here before we get to the holiday season.
Well, I think from a coaching standpoint, it's a nice early season test. You know, you get some good film going, and you find some things you have to work on, and that it's nice for both teams because they're both quality programs year in and year out. So you'd rather play the big dogs and find out what you got to work on early on and go on from there.
Yeah, Andrean ranked number 8 in the state poll for Class 2A, Lake Central unranked. But certainly this is a big-time matchup. Lake Central already 2 games in on the season. They have faced South Bend, Washington. They lost by 6, and then they faced Gary Westside a little bit earlier this week and got a win 38-34. And so that kind of warms you up a little bit. You only got 2 games in. You're still getting your feet wet out there. And when I talked to Coach Malaznik before the game, he goes, especially when he talked about Tuesday's game, he goes, we rebounded really well. We played well. Just the shooting wasn't there. And those things are going to fall when you get to those high percentage shots.
It will, and especially on their home floor. Then on the other hand, you have Andrean, who this is a season opener with a new coach.
Yes.
So, they're going to find out right away. They're going to work the rust off and, put the football cleats away. They had a nice season for football and see if that success carries over. But, again, like we mentioned, this is nothing more than getting some film and finding out what guys are going to work well together and continue on and hope everybody stays healthy.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Aaron Austin comes out here with this Andrean team. Obviously, the start of their season pushed back a little bit because of that nice state championship run in football. But let's see what the 96 Andrean grad can bring out there. I know he was super excited to get this role here for the Andrean 59ers. He gets ranked to start the season in Class 2A, and it's not like the gauntlet's going to get any easier for him. He's got Maryville after that, and then South Bend, Washington, KV, Chesterton is going to be a big one as well. So certainly not the easy run for him here to start the season before he even gets into conference play.
Yeah, they're going to take their lumps a little bit, but again, like we mentioned, I'd rather do that than go play a bunch of cream puffs,
Yeah.
And then you kind of, get an inflated look of how you are actually playing right now. So they're going to find out right away and find out some things they need to work on. But the battle tested, you sharpen iron with iron and go from there.
And Lake Central not going to be dealing with any slouches either. They got Hanover next, Morton, Munster. That's always a fun rivalry game. Lake Central, Munster. This year that'll be over at the M-Dome and at Munster, so that'll be a nice early season contest as well. Then before you know it, that conference play starts to tick in, and that's when things really, really ramp up, and that's when the season really gets fun.
It is, and as a coach, we used to break the season up into three sections. Your preseason or your before the holiday tournament, then you have your holiday break where you usually play a tournament, and then you jump into your conference play. So everything is gearing toward that March run, and it's a long journey. You're going to have ups and downs and injuries and illness, and hope we can avoid COVID this year. And it's a long journey. It's a marathon, and this is just the beginning of that.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned some other schools here to talk about these schedules, and I'm already seeing some head coaches from some of those other schools that we named. So
yeah,
they're coming out here to watch this one on a Friday night. All right, we're going to step aside for just a moment. You are watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Okay, we're not taking a break. Never mind. We're going to stay right here on the Region Sports Network. You know what? We were just sounding too good. That's what it was.
Yeah, you know.
Well, this is your first game of the season, too. I got my feet in the water last week a little bit.
Yeah, you know, it's fun to see different teams in different environments.
All right, now we're going to step aside for just a moment. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week?
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party?
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area?
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strack and Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise. Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Java Wave at your local Family Express is the perfect way to get your day started or keep you moving at any time. With 12 freshly ground bean-to-cup flavors to choose from, Java Wave at Family Express has just what you're looking for, whether it's hot or iced coffee. To see all of the delicious flavor options and to find a Family Express near you, log on to familyexpress.com/Java Wave.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Mike Brenner here along with Coach Doug Nelson. Getting set for the Lake Central versus Andrean game here from Lake Central. Should be a good one. I'm excited for this one. I'm so happy to have basketball back. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, it's nice to have people back in the arena, you know, for as long as we can, and let's enjoy it here for the next couple hours.
Well, and we were able to see fans a little bit last year because of, parents being able to come to games, but the best part is that we've got student sections back here at the games. That was really fun to see last week, and it's going to be really fun to see tonight. I mean, if Brandon can pan over to the right a little bit, you got a very large Lake Central student section over here to the right. And then, I don't know if he'll zoom in on them for a little bit, and then if you zoom over to the left, you've got a decent crowd there for Andrean.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, Mike. It's not just about the players on the floor. It's about the student bodies. Mm-hmm. They're enjoying their teammates and the cheerleaders and the bands when you have those. So there's a lot of people involved here tonight.
Well, I know you're just starting your basketball season. I'm already pretty much finished with my basketball season. But the nice thing that we were able to have this year, the cheerleaders, just the student sections back in, it brought the crowd right, or brought the team right back in it.
Yeah, it's a better feel.
All right, so we are going to get set here as the national anthem will play, and then we'll give you the starting lineups for tonight's game. And here, from our broadcast position here, Coach, this is going to be the awkward part of the evening because everyone's going to be looking generally in our direction because the American flag is right above us. So
hopefully the glare from my bald head doesn't really affect much.
I think it'll come off my forehead too. So we combined,
we're really in trouble.
We're going to have to start giving sunglasses out to people.
Those eclipse glasses.
All right, a great rendition of our national anthem. And now we will get the starting lineups for both teams here, and we will start with the Andrean 59ers. And coming out to the floor first, number 2, a 5'7" sophomore, Alex Austin. Now number 14, a senior 6 foot, Patrick Monahan. Now coming out, number 11, a senior 6'3", Caleb Barfield. Also got Damari Wright, a senior 6'5", number 12, and then Aiden Austin, number 5, a 5'7" sophomore for the Andrean 59ers. And now for the Lake Central Indians. All right, here comes number 34, a 6'4", junior Carson Collin. And now 32, a 6'3", junior Brandon Escobedo. Here comes number 1, junior 5'10", Miles Yekic. And now number 0, a senior, one of the few seniors on this team, 6'4", Ethan Knopf. And now the last senior to hit the floor, Jaden Clayton, number 4, the 6'4" senior. And so we're going to see a lot of experience here versus a lot of newness. Coach Mloznik in his 18th season as a head coach versus Aaron Austin, excuse me. And before you comment on that, Coach, let's take a look at our game night forecast, our Friday night forecast, brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast, a balmy 51 degrees. I'll take that for December. And then it's really wet out there. There's a lot of rain in the forecast for the rest of the evening. So if you are driving or moving around tonight, stay safe. Roads are going to be slick. That's brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. And we are underway, and it'll be controlled by the Indians to start things up. And bringing it up the floor was Miles Yekic. Giving it to Knopf there. Now top of the key for Jaden Clayton for an early 3, but it bounces off. Rebound, it's going to go out of bounds. We'll see it. It's going to go to Andrean 59ers.
Andrean starting off a little half-court man-to-man there, but Lake Central's picking up full court. Looks like a little 1-2-1-1 press.
Love these technical terms when you give these to me. Bringing it up the floor now. That was Austin. Now driving inside the paint. Loses it a little bit. It was Monahan. And we do have a foul. We'll see who the foul is going to be on.
I think that was on Carson Collin, it looked like. A little reach.
A little 34, yep. Carson Collin with his first. And the team's first. And they call on the floor, so they give now to Damari Wright. Far side of the court there, matched up against Clayton, trying to drive to the lane, gets into the paint, puts it up the window, bounces off the window. There was contact on that window. Here's a shot put up, no good, but another foul. Could they have called goaltending on that, Coach?
I think they could have. So basket interference. He grabbed the net pretty well. I think that's what the Andrean coach was wanting right there.
And I think he's got an argument there, and that's a quick another foul on Colin there. That's 2 on him in the game.
Yeah, you got to work out some nerves. They look a little shaky right now.
First free throw put up from Damari Wright is no good. So still no score on the board. 40 seconds into this one. Damari Wright to the line. And that free throw hits the tug of the basket and does rattle around and does fall home. So our first point of the game. And Lake Central bringing it up the floor now. Jekic trying to call out the plays here. Moves to his left, dribbling. Gives off to Clayton. Trying to move to top of key here now. Gives off. That was Dorian Beatty on the floor. We have another foul early on here. And I believe this is going to be against Andrean. I can't see the number, but we'll...
Looks like that was on Damari Wright. Nope, maybe. Yeah.
They do call it on number 12, yep.
There's 2 post guys going at it pretty well right there. It looked like the guy in the basket, the official under the basket, almost wanted to call a double foul. Those guys were going at it pretty good.
There was still a little discussion at the end there between both officials. We'll see what happens here. Jekic trying to inbound and didn't get... Now you can still pick that up, so Beatty is fine to pick that up beyond half court. This kid is a good ball player, I can tell you that. I've seen him up close and personal a few times. Here comes Clayton.
I really like Andrean's ball pressure. Making Lake Central a little uncomfortable right now.
Beatty trying to throw one up. He does get fouled, and the bucket goes. And that is Wright's second foul of the game. So Wright is called for the foul. So a quick 2 on Wright and a quick 2 on Colin for Lake Central. Definitely not guys that you want in foul trouble, especially in your starting lineup here, as Beatty knocks that one down. So a 3-point play. Lake Central leads this one 3-1. Just how we drew it up to start the game, Coach.
Sure, a little 3-1 action. I thought Damari Wright did a pretty good job of staying straight up and down there. He did leave the ground, but he's allowed verticality to the ceiling. So that's what Coach Austin was not real pleased with that one.
It's Aiden Austin with the basketball now. 5 versus 5 there. This one driving into the paint. Patrick Monahan who gets it to fall. So 3-3 ball game. Couple of field goals early on here in this one. Oh, we got to get off the football topic now. Okay.
Yeah.
Beatty for 3, long range, rattles around, doesn't go, trying to get that rebound. Monahan comes down with the rebound. He's going to come across half court, meets Ethan Knopf there, though. Goes baseline, tries to pass it out, does. Here's Austin for a 3. It hits the front of the rim. Beatty comes down with a rebound. Beatty trying to feed it, bad pass. It does tip out of bounds off of Andrean, so it'll stay here with Lake Central.
Oh, a lot of fun up and down action here. Again, working the kinks out a little bit and getting the nerves settled down.
It's certainly helping me with my talking skills here.
Well, yeah, especially your familiarity with the Lake Central guys. That's got to help a little bit.
A little bit. Here's Ethan Knopf with a jump shot. He gets his own rebound, follows through, and puts it home. That's why they say follow your shot, Coach.
Follow your shot. I was going to say the same thing.
This coaching thing is wearing off on me.
Yeah, I see that.
Monahan has to give off. This is Alex Austin inside with a little jumper. No good. Rebound coming out. Ethan Knopf really rips that one away, but they do call it jump ball. Possession arrow stays with the Indians. Gotta love that aggression early on here out of Ethan Knopf, who is a Belmont recruit for baseball.
I like the officials are doing what they can to keep it clean under there, and so far it has been clean. It's been nice and physical. That's the way it should be for rebounding. Should be every rebound should be an absolute war.
So the arrow was pointing to Lake Central, but apparently they're keeping it with Lake Central or with Andrean here. So my apologies. That shot is no good. That shot coming from Derek Mitchell. And we got a foul. This will be against, I believe, Alex Austin. They're trying to get around Coach Malosnik there to call the foul. That is against Alex Austin.
I don't think Coach wants Alex in foul trouble. He needs him on the floor.
5-3 your score, 5:13 to go in this opening quarter. Trying to feed it to Ethan Knopf, who just couldn't get high enough to get that pass. The look was good, just the effort to execute the pass wasn't there.
Yeah, it was a little miscommunication. Knopf was going back door, and he was thinking corner pass, so that's something that gets better as the season goes on.
Yep. Austin, this one tipped out of bounds. They're going to say it's Lake Central ball. No, it is going to be Andrean ball, excuse me.
It's a little 1-2-1-1. No, the middle of the floor is open. You got to find a way to get to the middle of the floor. You do not want to go on the sideline. That's where Lake Central wants you to go. Got to find a way right there where it's open.
Now that is, I like the defense there. That is a dumb foul from the middle perspective there. There's no reason you're not a threat to shoot there.
Right.
But you're trying to keep the ball from going over half court.
Right, and what happens is when you foul, usually when you're late. So, that was on Beatty. Beatty was late getting there. Should have been in front of the guy denying the pass, and in turn he let him get it, and then he reaches and fouls. That's too late. That's going to be a foul every time.
Austin for three. Aiden Austin bangs a three, and now it's 6-5 in favor of the 59ers. Jekic gives off to Clayton. Clayton baseline, gives to Escobedo. Off corner, Jekic trying to drive inside the lane, gives to Knopf. Knopf, nowhere to go. He pulls up for a three, and the answer is good.
It's nice ball movement there by Lake Central.
And this is really good pressure from Lake Central as they get the turnover. It's on the ground. Guys diving for the basketball. High school hoops are back, Coach.
Yeah, I like guys on the floor. You got two teams getting after it. But you want to try to attack this press with the pass, not the dribble. When you dribble, especially toward the corner there, you're just asking to get trapped. You've got to get the ball in the middle of the floor, and that's got to happen with the pass.
And Coach Austin not happy with the jump ball call. He thought maybe they had possession of it.
Yeah, he was trying to call a timeout, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
2-point game. Clayton trying to get it in, gets it to Knopf. It's halfway through this opening quarter here. Lake Central leads by 2.
I think Lake Central's got a pretty good size advantage inside overall if they can get the ball down in there. They're doing a little 4-out action here with their post-up guy just staying on the ball side, that right side over there.
Now, one guy that I know Coach Malosnik is happy to have back on the floor is number 2, Mitch Malosnik. Ethan Knopf trying to go to work. Jumper, no good. Rebound comes down to Clayton, but there's a foul from behind. So this will be another foul against Andrean. This time it's against Caleb Barfield. So that is the 4th team foul. Lake Central with 3, so we'll have an inbound underneath the basket. I was mentioning number 2, Mitch Malosnik out there. That would be Coach Malosnik's son, and that was a guy who they didn't have in a game against Westside, and we were talking about not having his shooting there. Well, Mitch Malosnik was one of the guys that was shooting lights out from deep in that game against South Bend, Washington. So that really, I think he said he had 15 points or so. So that was some of the shooting that was missing in Game 1 versus Game 2.
Yeah, it's always nice to be the coach's son and that basketball IQ.
Malosnik tried to launch one up there, tried to sell a 3, and we might have a foul here against Derek Mitchell. Or are we going to have the block call would be the question.
I think they called it. It's on Dorian Beatty.
Yeah, Dorian Beatty, yeah.
It looked like earlier Jaden Clayton came out. He might have blood on his jersey. Is that Jekic?
That's Jekic out there. Clayton's still on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, they did signal him to go out, and there's a block up top by Escobedo on his way up, and we got guys fighting all over the ball. Another jump ball call. This game's getting physical early. They're letting them bump a little bit here.
Yeah, they are calling calls. I mean, it's already 18 fouls been called, so they are calling it. He's checking for blood again. I think somebody's got it somewhere.
They're looking for something checking everybody's hands here, as Escobedo is going to have to come off the floor. And onto the floor now for Lake Central is Jake Smith. Oh, that's a good point, Rico. Is it blood or pine tar? Is it the rosin and sunscreen, or what is it? They're checking for foreign substances on the hands. Oh, wait, wrong sport. Never mind. As Jekic is checking back in as well.
That is the rainy season, but not quite December.
Checking back in, Moynihan. Alex Austin will check out.
They're still looking for blood. They think somebody's got it. They can't seem to find out what the source is.
It's actually just chunks of people's jersey falling off. Maybe.
Yeah.
Is that?
I think it might be one of the subs that he pulled out.
Yeah, they're literally, I mean, the official down there is literally walking down the line to check everybody.
Yeah.
They're trying to find, they're really trying to find the source here.
I think they found him on the end of the bench down there.
Now, you would think if you kind of know, for an extent, like what they're looking for, wouldn't you, as the player, be like, hey, that's me?
Yeah.
A little bit sooner?
Well, I mean, as a kid, I want to be on the floor.
Right.
You know, I mean,
but when you know that, all you have to do is just stop it. Just put a Band-Aid on it, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
And we have a
moving screen.
Offensive foul there, against number 23. That is Eddie Bastardo.
Again, like we mentioned, I think the officials are aware of how physical this game could become.
Yes.
And I think that they are calling some calls to try to limit the physicality that it could become. They're doing a good job of that so far.
And now one of the officials is back at the scorer's table trying to discuss, maybe, was it a timeout situation?
Well, it was a jump ball.
Okay.
Okay, so then you have an offensive foul. So who gets the possession of the next jump ball? That's what they're discussing right now. I would think that the arrow was switched. They had possession of the ball. It's called team control.
Correct.
And then that would become, the arrow would not change from where it is right now, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
We're going to check in with our rules analyst here for the Region Sport. Oh, we don't have, that's the next thing we got to start. We got to get rules analysts.
We need one of those boards too.
The drawing board.
The drawing board.
Oh, hold on. Wait a second, Coach. Wait a second. I got something for you.
No. For future reference, Coach. For future reference.
Oh no, I got you right here. Here you go.
I got permanent markers. What I got?
There's a marker in there.
Oh wow.
I got you. I told you this coaching thing is catching on with me.
I see that. You're taking this pretty serious.
Just like a teacher, I always carry a red pen with me.
Sure.
Jekic with the basketball now after we've sorted out all that fun stuff. Beatty with the basketball now. Jekic in the corner, trying to drive baseline, trying to match up against any kind of defense. Picked up here by Malaznik. Jumper is just short. Rebound comes down. It's number 55, Matthew Mills down there. I believe he played baseball for Rico, yes? Yeah.
That's a well-coached man if that's the case.
Nice. Moynihan drives one right on the baseline and in to tie the ball game.
It's good work along the baseline there. That's not easy to do.
He's got 4 points in this one. He's got half of the points, I should say, for Andrean. Beatty gives to Malaznik. Trying to feed it inside. They do so to Smith. Smith turning, gets it. Knopf gets the rebound, is getting swarmed, and they're going to call a jump ball. And again, this one's getting physical, and of course the student sections are going to start ramping up here.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job. They're chasing Malaznik. They're not helping off Malaznik. Yeah.
That's a good question.
That's
I wonder
4 or 5 jump balls already. And they're pretty quick jump balls. They, again, like we mentioned, they're trying to keep it from being physical.
Ethan Knopf and Malosnik have come out of the game. Escobedo, Clayton, Beatty, Jekic there's an official telling one of the coaches on the Andrean sideline that he can't stand up and yell, I guess.
He's probably new. He's new with Coach Austin, and he's got first game. They've got to learn the rules just as well.
Yeah, referees don't want to hear from the assistants as much.
I think he was just coaching his guys. He wasn't in the officials.
No. But
that's a double.
You got a double dribble against Andrean.
You get the ball down in the lane that low below the volleyball line, you just got to go up. The more you dribble it down there, the more the little guys can go get it and get their hands on it. You're a big, strong kid. Go up, go strong, and go finish at the rim.
Got a couple of check-ins here for Andrean. It looked like Alex Austin coming back in. Escobedo with the basketball now, trying to feed down low to Clayton. He loses it off his feet, or maybe it's off of, it is off of his feet, so it's going to be Andrean basketball there.
As well as the game started, there's been so many whistles and so many discussions. The game really hasn't had much of a flow yet.
There really hasn't, you're right.
It's kind of herky-jerky, and it's hopefully it picks up.
And now they're going to rule us with Lake
bit.
Central, that it's off the boot of Andrean.
That's good officiating. They talked and they figured out. At least you get the call correct.
So Jekic will inbound the ball to Escobedo on that left side. He'll have an open lane to the basket and score. His first points of the game. Lake Central leads it. Trying to feed it across the floor. Here's Alex Austin. Gives up left side now. Mitchell. Gives off here. Here's Austin. Austin trying to roll, do the work. Goes to the corner. Back to Mitchell. Top of key. No rebound. Comes down to Escobedo. Trying to feed long pass to Dorian Benford in the corner for three. It rattles off. No good. Rebound comes down to Mitchell. Under a minute to play in the opening quarter, and it has not been without entertainment here.
Yeah, we've had a lot of whistles and very little flow to the game. There's another one.
Trying to drive, and Mitchell knocked down by his own teammate. That was Mills. But the foul likely to be called against, are they going to call it against Escobedo? Nope, they call it against Jig Smith. So 5 team fouls for both teams. Trying to feed it into Mills there. Now to Austin. Gives it out to Monahan. Driving left side, trying to do the work there. Passes it back out, coming through. Here's White. No call on that drive. An interesting no call. Certainly could have been a block, could have been a charge. Escobedo from top of key, off range. Trying to swipe that one. This one on the ground, though. Rebound comes down to Andrean. They come with it left to right.
Might be holding for one shot.
13 seconds to go. Austin tries to drive into the lane, has to pull back out. Going back to the half-court line with 6 seconds to go. And the ball is knocked out of bounds, and we're going to say it's going to stay with the Andrean 59ers with 4.9 to go in the opening quarter.
Pretty good defensive ball pressure. Again, as a coach, I appreciate that. That's effort. That's what that is.
The emphasis has got to be to get it to Austin. They get it now to White. White trying to feed it down into the paint with 1 second. Good if it goes. No good. Off the fingers of Mills. So that's the end of the first quarter. 10-8 your score. You are watching Game 9 on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Java Wave at your local Family Express is the perfect way to get your day started or keep you moving at any time. With 12 freshly ground bean-to-cup flavors to choose from, Java Wave at Family Express has just what you're looking for, whether it's hot or iced coffee. To see all of the delicious flavor options and to find a Family Express near you, log on to familyexpress.com/JavaWave.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Brenner, Doug Nelson alongside. We've got Rich Castillo. We got Brandon Root working on the camera. Trying to get this one started here at the start of the second quarter. Lake Central and Andrean. Make sure you stay with us after the game as we'll name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crowell Company's proud to recognize the superheroes on the basketball court.
Well, see if Lakes or Andrean continues to play their man-to-man. I like how they move while the ball's in the air. From our perspective, it's really neat to see that. You know, they really working well together as a defensive unit.
Yeah, Lake Central puts us in the corners here, which I like that perspective because you see things just a little bit differently than from half court.
Sure.
Escobedo given to Clayton. Clayton's had kind of a quiet night. He's a guy who was the second leading scorer last year as Escobedo drops one down.
Yeah, the defense kind of gave him that. He kind of backed off and was going to dare him to shoot it, and he did right in his eye.
Onyahan off to Austin for a three in the corner. No good. Jekic comes down with a rebound. Jekic gives off into the corner for three, and that's a big one by Brett Spain. Coming off the bench, grabbing a three, and now it's a 7-point lead for the Indians. And a timeout taken by Andrean. And we'll keep it right here as it's a 30-second timeout. Yeah, this has been high action, a lot of bumping and grinding right there in the paint to try to get these shots. The jumpers are going, the layups are going. It's going to be a fun night the way this one's going to finish, I think, Coach.
Yeah, again, we talked about this is Andrean's opener. We've mentioned that earlier, and they're working the kinks out a little bit. And, Lake Central, the ball's going in the basket here a little bit for Andrean, for Lake Central, second quarter here. It's just nice to see some flow. You know, I know that we've talked about with officials, they talk about freedom of motion and freedom of movement, and we just haven't seen a whole lot of that yet.
Make sure you stay with us after the game as we'll name the IKRCC Play of the Game, brought to you by the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. $7:09 left to go in this second quarter. Andrean with the basketball now. This is Alex Austin. Now, I mentioned Mitch Malosnik earlier. Yes, Alex and Aiden Austin, number 2 and 5 for Andrean. Yes, they are these sons of Coach Austin.
Again, that IQ goes a long way.
Now for three, hits the front of the rim. Escobedo fighting for the rebound, puts it up, gets the bucket to fall, and fouled on his way up.
There was a little bit of muscle there. He was being held and tugged all the way up. That's great effort by Escobedo.
6 points on the evening with a chance for a 7th. The foul, by the way, was committed against Damari Wright, which is his 3rd, so I would imagine he's taking a seat on the bench for a little while.
Yeah, last trip down the floor, Lake Central was in a little 2-3 zone. After a timeout, you want to try to change something because they're probably drawing us something up on the board.
Well, they're probably drawing up how to beat the press.
Right.
And so Coach Malosnik probably doing a little gamesmanship there and taking that off.
Yeah, it looks like he's back into a man-to-man now. No, he's back to a 2-3 zone. Just give something else to Andrean, something to prepare for.
Onyahan with the basketball, gives off to Austin. Brothers passing it to each other inside the paint now. Wright still in the game. Here's a three-point shot, no good. Ethan Nuff trying to grab that one out of bounds, and it'll be Lake Central basketball. And I'm not going to lie, Coach, to me that looked like it was off the hands of Ethan Nuff from where I'm standing, but the officials down there, he can see it way better than I can.
Yeah, he came over the back, over the top. I don't think there was contact on the body, but I think he might have come over the top and actually touched the ball.
In any case, Lake Central will take it. Escobedo fighting for that ball, and there was a lot of contact down there, but he does step out of bounds on the baseline. But those guys were, talk about, I only really hear about the hook and hold in college for the most part. I don't hear about it as much in high school level. But there was a lot of hooking and holding going on over there.
Yeah, those big guys have been the officials have been watching it closely, but they've been banging all night.
Monahan for a 3-point shot, and it is an offensive foul, and it's going to be against Bastardo, I believe, right? Is that who?
I don't know. That's on right.
We'll see who they do call the fourth foul on right. Yes, sir, that is 4.
He's got 4 fouls.
And so that'll put Lake Central in the bonus.
That's a problem with Lake Central's size inside. They're going to need someone in there to compete with the Indians' big guys, and that young man's already got 4 fouls in the second quarter.
And it's 5:56 left to go in the second quarter, so still a long way to go in this half, and then you still figure you got a whole half to not try to foul out of this game, so he's going to be eating some bench for quite a while here as the free throw is good for Escobedo.
That was just an unnecessary foul, too. That was just undisciplined shoving it back.
Well, probably trying to get something physical and see what he can get away with. Well, didn't get away with that one.
No, that was pretty obvious.
And that free throw good as well. 3 for 3 from the line for Brandon Escobedo in Lake Central.
2-3 zone seems to begin having fits so far. Again, Lake Central's got the size advantage. They're going to stay in it until they can break it from the inside right there or start hitting from the outside.
Austin for 3, no good. Got bodies banging down there. Here comes the Yekic. He's got to look right to Ethan Knopf, who tries to alley-oop it, no good. Clayton there to clean it up and knocks it down. And looks like Monahan is down at the other end of the court with an ankle, a right ankle.
I think hopefully all he did was came down on somebody's foot. I hope it's just a little sprain, but he's acting like it's something pretty serious.
But, man, what athleticism by Ethan Knopf. That pass was a little, behind him a little bit. Still able to grab it in midair to try to put it down. And then Clayton right there to clean that one up. Sure, his dad was proud of that one. He's actually just to our right. And they are helping Monahan off the floor. He's not putting any pressure. Looks at that right ankle, Coach.
Yeah. With the guy in foul trouble and a young man now being injured, we're going to find out how good their bench is. And Coach might have wanted to do that anyway, being game 1, but I don't think he wanted to do it this way. We'll see if Lake Central stays in their 2-3 zone.
Well, we'll see how things go because the lead is starting to stretch for Lake Central now. If it was continuing to stay close, probably within, 6 or 8, then, you're keeping your starters out there to try to keep fighting. But as that lead continues to grow for Lake Central, yeah, you're going to be going into the depth chart a little bit there.
Yeah.
And as will Lake Central as well.
Sure. There's a long way to go. I mean, this game's yet to be decided, of course, but early on in the season, you're going to find out, who's got what.
Yekic trying to poke that one away, and it goes out of bounds, and they are going to rule it's going to go with Lake Central.
That's the correct call. That's good defensive pressure in a 2-3 zone. I've noticed more and more teams are really lifting their 2-3 zone and playing higher toward the top of the key, and that's the reason why, just to contest passes.
Who's one of the schools that you remember really starting that? Because to me,
Syracuse.
Well, okay, so I'm thinking like high school, kind of copying off that. Because to me, one of the first teams that I saw really doing that in the region was Munster. And I could be wrong. I mean, it could be other schools that have really started that. But to me, Munster was one of those first schools that started doing that, bringing that zone up a little bit more than usual.
Yeah, that same thing. All they're doing is bringing their wings up there and contesting that wing area, the free throw line extended area. And that's just challenging that pass and that shot.
Free throw, no good for Colin there as the foul was committed against Mills, his first. The team's 8th, so this is a 1-on-1 situation still. And I thought I heard a whistle. Did I hear a whistle?
No, not that time.
Okay. I'm just hearing ringing in my old age, I guess. Mills trying to find someone to pass it out to. Mills losing it inside the middle. Yekic coming up with it. Ball still on the ground. Beatty trying to keep it on the baseline, and now a foul going to be committed against Mitchell. And I think Andrean is starting to really panic here because now they're getting the fouls accumulated.
Well, I think, again, they're getting a little outworked. That's something that that's going to bother the coach. You see Lake Central guys on the floor, and Andrean bending over to pick up the ball. You want to be the first guy on the floor, and then good things happen for your program. So that's what's happening with Lake Central right now.
So it'll be Dorian Beatty at the line to shoot 2. Make sure you stay with us after the game. We will name the Region Sports Network Blue Collar Player of the Game. Brought to you by the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Dorian's first free throw there was no good, so no second shot on the 1-and-1. 23-8 your score, 4:30 left to go. Mills dumping it down low. Stolen away by Lake Central, though they tried to feed it to Bastardo, and he couldn't control it. Ethan Knopf going to the baseline, pulling up for the jumper. Rattles around, halfway down, comes out.
That's a good look. He was kind of fading away as a coach. I just want my guy going straight up and down. But
and we got a travel violation against Andrean, so another turnover as Clayton will check back into the game.
Andrean is yet to score this quarter, correct? I think Lake Central's on a pretty good little run right now.
You are correct. Clayton, baseline, trying to reverse it, doesn't fall. 3 59ers trying to go for 1 rebound there.
I think if you're Andrean, you got to try. Of course, that's one way to do it with the long 3, but you can get that shot anytime. You don't want that shot as a coach, especially that early in the possession.
So Jekic across the timeline now. Trying to put up a little heave-ho there, no good. Gets his own rebound, though. He's going to pull it back out and set something up here for Lake Central. We've seen that a few times tonight. Guys miss their shot, and they follow it, and they get their rebound.
Yeah, you like extra possessions as a coach. Good things happen.
Little jump shot there from the free throw line. For Miles Jekic, his first points of the game. Mitchell, baseline, trying to put up with the reverse, and it falls. First points of the half. I'm sorry, of the quarter, I should say. And that was Derek Mitchell who gets those.
That's one way to beat the zone is try to dribble penetrate through it. There are plenty of gaps, and he drove the baseline area. That short corners area is open also. That's an area that Andrean might want to try to take advantage of.
Jekic dropping the dime right there, right through the defense. A whole wide lane to get through.
When you allow the ball, here we go.
Jekic steals that one. Malaznik now to Clayton. Clayton matches up against the defense. Can't get it to go. Trying to clean it up, though. And we do have a foul underneath the Lake Central basket there. And we'll see who the foul is committed against. That'll be the 10th foul, so an automatic 2 free throws for Lake Central here. And that was on Mills, so his second, team's 10th. First free throw knocked down for Carson. No, you're fine.
What I was saying was when you allow the ball to be penetrated between the elbows, basically, in the free throw area, there's nowhere to help from. The only thing you can do is help up. And as a defender, you really hate doing that. So, offensively, you want to try to attack that area and hit that little floater shot. That's a good high percentage shot.
Collins' second free throw is no good, so he's 2 of 4 from the line today. 28-10 your score. Lake Central on top.
Lake Central's back to a man-to-man defense now.
Mitchell with the basketball, matched up against Clayton, waiting for somebody to move and help him out there. This is Austin. Alex Austin. Trying to drive inside the lane. That's closed out. Here's a shot from Barfield. That's way long. Rebound comes down to Jekic. Jekic against the defense there, driving into the lane, trying to put one up. Wow. And how did that go down? That might be a candidate for our IKRCC play of the game. Miles Jekic going off here in the second quarter, 6 points, All coming in here in the second quarter, and now another foul committed against Andrean.
Andrean's got to keep their composure here. A little bit of a danger zone for Andrean right now.
The foul is against Barfield, his second. That is the team's 11th. At this point, we don't need to continue to track every. Well, how is this? This should be free throws, correct?
Well, it's player control foul.
Okay.
When it's a player control foul, you don't shoot free throws.
Bringing it up the floor now. Andrean trying to go coast to coast. And it's going to be a charge call. So it's an offensive foul against Andrean. So it'll be a turnover. And again, this is going to be one of those player control fouls, as you said. So no free throws. But that is a third foul on Barfield. Certainly not what Coach Austin had drawn up for his first game of his coaching career. He's got Wright with 4, Barfield with 3, Mills with 2, and a few other guys with 1.
Yeah.
Knopf trying to take his guy inside the lane, doing work. Shot doesn't go. Rebound coming down to Jekic. We got more bodies hitting the floor, or more bodies making contact. And that might be another foul against Andrean here.
No, I believe they called that on Jekic.
Oh, and Jekic, okay, bumping on the body, okay. Yep, you are right. That is his second.
Loose ball foul. I like aggressive fouls. As a coach, I accept those.
I think I was told you're fine with any foul as long as there's no blood involved, right?
Well, I don't mind blood either. So.
As long as it's not your guys on your jerseys, right?
Yeah, my guys never committed a foul. It's never on us.
42 seconds to play. Austin trying to put that one down. And it's just a air ball that comes up short of the rim and goes out of bounds. 20-point lead for Lake Central. Now, we know that there's a new rule in high school basketball that if it hits 35-point differential is a running clock. Does that start in the first half, or can that start in the first half, or is that second half? How does that work?
I believe it's second half only, but I'm not certain. I haven't witnessed it yet. We saw it in the JV game, but
Clayton knocks that one down. Knopf was there close to potentially maybe just tip that in, but in any case, it goes down by Clayton. This one taken away by Lake Central. Behind the back by Clayton there. He gets the shot, gets it fouled, or gets it knocked away. Cleaning that one up. Ethan Knopf on the shot. Lake Central scoring at will as the half comes to an end. And it's a 34-10 halftime lead for the Indians. Boy, this Lake Central team can score at will and dissect the defense if they want. It's a 34-10 halftime score. We'll see you soon on the other side of this break. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake?
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Blythe's Athletics in Valparaiso, whose team has been serving your team since 1959, is a leader in athletic apparel and equipment sales. Whether it's off the rack or customized to your specifications, Blythe's has the products and staff to serve you best. Trophies, embroidering, screen printing, athletic shoes, anything you're looking for, you'll find at Blythe's. Visit them today at teamblythes.com, where the athlete shops.
It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. We got a halftime performance going on the floor right now here at Lake Central High School. And not only do we have that going on, Lake Central has got a commanding lead, Coach.
Yeah,
34-10.
Sorry, they have everything going their way, and the body language of Andrean, they needed that halftime to get here.
Yes.
Get back in there and regroup, and as a coach, you just try to win the second half. Try to chip away, get it into, maybe back into the teens, and then maybe by the end of the third quarter, get it, try to get it in single digits. But right now, if you're Lake Central, you're just trying to play with a win or play with a lead. Take care of the basketball and don't give Andrean extra opportunities.
6 for 9 from the line for Lake Central as well, because they've gotten to go to the line quite a few times tonight, and 6 of 9. You and I talk all the time when it comes to late in games. I don't know if it's going to be a factor here in this one if it continues the way it's been going here. But if you are knocking down your free throws, you're likely to win the ball game. Yeah,
that's one of those stats that a coach looks at the end of the game. We talk about layups and free throws. Whoever makes the most of those usually comes out on the right side of the column. So, keep it simple and do the little things right, and good things will happen.
Whereas for Andrean, 1 of 2 from the line. That was Damari Wright, and that's going to want to be the things that we're looking at late in the second half here. When is Wright going to get back in the game? How long can he stay in the game? He's going to have 4 fouls at the moment. Barfield, another one of the starters that has 3 fouls going into this second half, and then we had an injury to another starter in Patrick Monahan. That's going to be a factor down the road. So not only is this lead continuing to grow for Lake Central, but now fouls and injuries are starting to accumulate for Andrean.
I think that, and it does show, because you can see a little, the chemistry is not real good on the court. You're probably seeing some lineups that haven't really probably practiced together to get game reps together. You see a lot of guys kind of standing around waiting for someone else to do something. And, you need some kind of continuity and motion, and right now you're not seeing that for Andrean. And
one of the reasons for that point that you just made is because obviously, Andrean celebrating a nice state championship in football, and that's one of the reasons why they're starting so late in the season here for basketball. It's because a lot of those guys probably were playing on the football team, so they're pushing things back. And those guys are getting some of those first practices in that they, when other guys were working for quite a while. So, new lineups with some players that maybe don't have the same amount of reps as everybody else. Sure, and that's something that, Coach is a little frustrated right now, but it'll pay off down the road. Seeing the depth of the bench and giving guys an opportunity to play that maybe he didn't think he would have to play so early. Yeah, absolutely. It gives guys an opportunity to show out here tonight at Lake Central High School. All right, 34-10, your halftime score. We're going to step aside for just a moment, and then we'll be back with the second half. A little keys to the game maybe for the second half from Coach Nelson. Sure. We're going to step aside. You are watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Java Wave at your local Family Express is the perfect way to get your day started or keep you moving at any time. With 12 freshly ground bean-to-cup flavors to choose from, Java Wave at Family Express has just what you're looking for, whether it's hot or iced coffee. To see all of the delicious flavor options and to find a Family Express near you, log on to familyexpress.com/Java Wave.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a sent-to-your bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Sentier branch today or visit us on the web at sentier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Sentier Bank, NMLS number 408076, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Mike Brenner here along with Coach Doug Nelson here to remind you that at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. The Crowell Companies have offices open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. Saw Michigan City last week. That team very, very good with a lot of talent, a lot of seniors on that team as well. You talk about teams from the DAC. This DAC is loaded. Valpo, Chesterton. You got Michigan City. Lake Central, I think, is going to start putting people on notice here in the next coming weeks. It's going to be a fun run there. Portage getting some love in some polls as well. So we'll see how Portage, and they got a new head coach over there.
Yeah, Coach Klaus is doing a good job, and Portage got some talent, but like you mentioned, the Duneland is an absolute grind this year with Valpo and Chesterton and Coach Urban and Coach Kuhlman, and there's no night off in the Duneland Conference.
No, absolutely not. You're part of the Duneland. Welcome back to the Duneland, man.
Yeah, thanks. It's good to be home. Like I said, no weak sisters in this league.
No, absolutely not. And we talk about Lake Central, and I've been talking to some people within the Lake Central Corporation, and they feel like this is a really good chance and a good year, a good opportunity to potentially go back and win a sectional. They've won 11 in school program history, but when you go against teams like Munster, Hammond Central, obviously those are the two in your sectional that you're probably thinking might be the toughest opponents right now. East Chicago, Highland, Morton. West Side was a team that you figured was going to be there competitive-wise, and obviously teams can come out of nowhere. A team like Highland can come out of nowhere with a new head coach and surprise everybody. Anything can happen on any given night come sectionals. But you're thinking, Munster, Hammond. You were thinking West Side, but we'll see how that plays out throughout the rest of the year. And then Lake Central. So, I mean, the door is open for Lake Central to win a sectional.
Yeah, sectional one's always tough, and it really a good draw helps.
Yes.
But Munster's solid. They're undefeated so far this year, and of course they're well coached by Coach Hackett, and they had a nice move in, big 6'5", 6'6" kid who can handle the ball on the perimeter and drive, and he's a handful for guys to guard on the perimeter and inside. So.
And one of the things that'll help Lake Central with that sectional as well is that, it's right here.
That does help. That does help.
Last time Lake Central hosted a sectional, is Patrick Moynihan, I can see coming with a little tape, and he's still not putting any pressure. So I'm figuring he's not going to be in the starting lineup here this second half for the 59ers. And by the way, for the 59ers, they're in sectional 33, Class 2A. That'll be at Whiting. I know it's crazy to we're still in December and we're talking about sectionals, but never too early to start looking and playing how things out.
Well, that's what coaches do. Part of you just kind of got a half an eye. You're just looking down the road a little bit. It's funny how you're looking to the next game and next quarter, next possession, but there's part of your mind is just wondering how everybody else in your section is doing.
Do you ever break? I know a lot of coaches will break up a season and say, okay, this is the first fourth. We won. We won the first fourth. We won the second. Fourth. You break it up into or thirds or however you want to break it up.
Yeah, like I mentioned, that's what we used to do. Was we mentioned the kind of the first half and then the Christmas break, and then after that you got into your conference play. So every part of that was very important. But you want to be playing your best ball in March.
Derek Mitchell in the starting lineup for Andrean, by the way, with Patrick Monahan out. And now Ethan Knopf running, almost having it stolen away, putting it up. It rattles around, hits the perimeter, no good. Comes down to Barfield here, who is playing with 3 fouls, living on the edge. And I don't see Wright as well out there. Wright playing with 4 fouls. It'll be, I believe that's Bastardo out there.
Yeah. Lake Central came out, and looks like they're playing the half-court man-to-man again.
Trying to feed it down to Bastardo. Had a little tip there before it got to him. Little jumper doesn't fall down. Trying to put that back up is Mitchell, and he gets that one to fall. So he's got 4 points on the evening. Cross court, Ethan Knopf giving it to Clayton for the alley-oop. Oh, and he can't get it to jam down. I'll tell you what, Jaden Clayton's dad over here has got a big old smile on his face. He wanted him to jam that one home.
Well, the student body would have been pretty excited about that. It happened right in front of him. But as a coach, you just want him to lay it in. There are no style points. Just get the 2 points and get out of here.
I have thought about asking. I haven't confirmed with anybody, but I don't know if these bleachers here where the student section is on, if it has been reinforced or not.
Yeah.
As Austin laying that one home, and all of a sudden they couldn't score in the second quarter, but then all of a sudden here comes the attack here in the third. 4 points as Jekic is fouled. So we had 1 foul against Lake Central to start things up.
Well, if you're Lake Central, you just want to eat clock, get good possession, get quality shots, and you not give Andrean an opportunity to get back in this game. Because they can, there's a long way to go, and they can do it.
The give is to Escobedo. Escobedo gets the bucket, and he is fouled, so he'll go to the line and shoot 1. And just like that, Andrean has picked up 2 quick fouls here in this first half, and that is the 4th foul on Barfield. So that's not something that Coach Austin is really excited about there. He's got 2 players in foul trouble.
Again, he's going into parts of the bench that he might not have planned on using this early.
So they start looking at the JV rosters.
Yeah, he's trying to talk it over.
An inadvertent turnover for Andrean. Alex trying to pass over to Aiden and has it turned over.
Andrean's picking up a little bit, full court. Looks like a little half-court trap, 2-2-1. Again, if you're being trapped, you want to attack it.
Gonna try it again on the alley-oop. Jaden Clayton couldn't control that one. A little too high from Ethan Knopf.
It's one way to do it is by going over the trap, I suppose.
That's true. Trying to feed it down to Bastardo. Waits for the pressure. Puts it up off the window. And just like that, 6 points coming through.
Yeah, that's for Andrean. You want to get stops and scores. That's how it works. You're going to have to do that to get back in the ball game. If you're Lake Central, do not take your foot off the gas.
We have a timeout taken by Coach Malosnik. It'll be a full timeout, so we will step aside. You are watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Andrean and Lake Central duking it out here. 20-point lead for the Indians. As you said, Lake Central can't take their foot off the gas pedal. I've watched a lot of Lake Central games over the years, and I feel like that kind of tends to be a thing that Lake Central does. They do take their foot off the gas a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out here. This one knocked out of bounds by Austin. And I think Malosnik wanted a foul there.
Well, it's hard to convince teenage kids that the other team can still come back and win it. You know, you're playing against the game. You're not necessarily playing against the scoreboard. And
correct.
You start looking at the scoreboard and hoping the clock goes fast. It's not going to happen. So you got to play 4 quarters of good basketball.
Left all alone, Escobedo off the window. Andrean got fooled on the non-pass, thought he was going to hand it off, and then left a whole baseline wide open.
They did that earlier in the first half as well. Little reach-in foul.
So that'll be on Ethan Knopf. It's his first of the game, team's second of the half.
Again, if you're Coach Malosik, you just want to see the clock run.
Right,
you know?
all this stoppage is not helping matters.
Let's get out of here. You're winning the ball game, and if you're Andrean, you want to try to make it as long as you can. Try to drag it on and get extra possessions.
Giving the backcourt to Aiden Austin, looking for Mitchell to come up. Trying to move to his right. Mitchell riding the baseline, and he does step out of bounds, so I guess we would call that a forced turnover. They kind of forced him to get to the baseline, I guess, right?
Yeah. That's kind of like a sore subject for coaches. You don't go down there unless you know where you're going.
Yeah.
You know, Coach Bob Knight used to have a line down there, and that we used to use that line quite a bit in practice, and we had certain names that were not radio friendly, but just don't.
You coming up with non-friendly names? I can't.
Yeah, I know that's just shocker.
Teddy bear up here in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. A little turnover there. And Lake Central does not want to do that and give, like we said, we don't want to give Andrean extra possessions here if we can control it. They're staying in that half-court man-to-man defense.
Austin trying to drive inside, but has no room to run. There's Aiden Austin with the jump shot from the free throw line. It does not fall. And we got a foul underneath against Lake Central here on a push.
Called it against Andrean.
Oh, they did. So 55, that's on Mills. I thought based by the way that the Lake Central team was, just carrying themselves, that they give it to Knopf there on the far side of the court.
Yeah, the big guy got caught with 2 hands shoving in the back.
I think I can call for another one there. A little push there on Smith, who couldn't get that one to fall. 38-16 the score. Just over 4 minutes left to play. Mitchell trying to find an open man. Trying to spread the floor a little bit here are the 59ers. Yeah, certainly this is a good test to see where you are at, and this is going to show Coach Austin what they really need to work on in practice this week. Ethan Knopf with the basketball. A little bump off the window, no foul. Goes out of bounds, and they're going to say it's going to stay with Lake Central. Now, I think that's a good no call, in my opinion, because Ethan Knopf basically pushed into him to try to create the contact himself.
Right. I like that no call, actually, and we had a really good angle from up here.
Escobedo at the baseline, almost getting tied up here, and they are going to call it. They are calling it a jump ball.
That's just like what happened down the other end. Don't pick the ball up down there on the baseline unless you know what you're doing with it.
Ethan Knopf driving, has it stripped away, gets it back, and puts it, just off the window for Clayton there. We're going to call that, just call it a pass, right? He kind of passed it over the rim for Clayton. 3-point shot for Austin, offline. Out of bounds, they're going to say it is off of Lake Central, so now it's Andrean ball again.
So far, Aiden and Alex Austin are having a little off night. You could say they're young. They're gonna do nothing but get better. But this is a pretty good learning experience for them tonight.
Yeah, both sophomores trying to put that one up. Alex Austin there, and he is fouled on his way up, so he'll go to the line to shoot 2. We did have a push from Lake Central.
You have to have, if you have a slow start like Aiden and Alex are, you have to have the scorer's mentality of keep shooting. You got to keep going. You can't have you got to have a short memory. It's kind of like a relief pitcher. You missed your last shot, the next one's going in. Don't worry about it. Keep attacking, and good things will happen.
Xavier Williams checks in the game for Lake Central, one of the star running backs for this Indian ball club. Alex Austin knocked that first free throw down. 40-17, trying to get both free throws here. And he does get them both. Now, surprisingly, that is Austin's first 2 points of the ball game. He's been a focal point on offense as Molosnik for 3, rattles that one down. Big three-point basket from Mitch Molosnik. Mitchell trying to get a jumper, and he gets fouled on that attempt.
Yeah, he got kind of bailed out there. Clayton kind of bailed him out. That's what I'm sure they'll look at the film and see that, and he kind of bailed out the Andrean shooter as he was going up out of control and not real sure what he was going to do with the basketball.
Mitchell's first free throw attempt is no good.
Again, if you're Coach Molosnik, you want that clock running. You don't want to see Andrean with a chance to score with the clock stopped.
Yeah, this feels like a very long third quarter already. Only 5 minutes have really ticked off the clock as we still have 3 minutes left in this third quarter. It's good for Andrean as Beatty tries to put one up from deep. Smith fighting for the rebound, but we do have a foul called. That'll be against Andrean.
I think Derek Mitchell kind of wrapped around the guy to get the ball.
So Mitchell's second foul. That is the 4th team foul. Mitch Molosnik has it stripped away. Alex Austin trying to throw one up, doesn't get it to go. We've got a foul from behind. We'll see what this one's all about. Again, this is what we were seeing in the first quarter. There's no real chance to get any kind of real game flow here because every time you even get down the floor, there's a whistle.
Yeah. Again, you like to see the aggressive play, but this is early season basketball, especially with Andrean being their opener. Again, as the officials, I like how they're calling it to not let it get a physical and rough. So, but from a game flow standpoint, it's not been real conducive to that.
Mitchell stops in the paint, has his shot blocked. The game for Lake Central, Brett Spain in there. He's got the basketball right now, far side of the court, feeding it to Clayton, now to Beatty. Smith pulls up for 3, hits the front iron, rebound comes down to Mitchell.
Lake Central's doing a good job of keeping the ball in front of them. Yeah, Coach Austin's going to call a timeout.
And I will wait for it'll be a full timeout. Rico, you saw it this time. I didn't make a mistake like the last time. This will be a full timeout. We'll step aside. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Java Wave at your local Family Express is the perfect way to get your day started or keep you moving at any time. With 12 freshly ground bean-to-cup flavors to choose from, Java Wave at Family Express has just what you're looking for, whether it's hot or iced coffee. To see all of the delicious flavor options and to find a Family Express near you, log on to familyexpress.com/JavaWave.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Lake Central and Andrean. Make sure you stay with us after the game as we will name the play of the game presented by IKORCC. Learn more at IKORCC.com. You already thinking about some award winners over there?
A little bit. We do have that. I like that option for play of the game, that little spinning layup that we had from Lake Central. The Yekic had a really nice acrobatic layup there early on. Remember that in the second quarter?
Yeah.
I had that one written down. Andrean Lake Central went back to the little 2-3 zone.
Trying to create some turnovers probably. Keep the lineup moving
go.
here as Yekic going all the way to the window.
That's one of those situations. It's kind of a special teams idea, Mike, is after a timeout, switch it up just like he did earlier in the first half. Like you mentioned, he's in there planning an offense for half-court man-to-man, and you switch it up, and you got to go back to the drawing board.
Trying to heave up a shot there. Pressure all around him. Yekic getting across the timeline. Here's a three-point shot from way deep. Rattles around, doesn't come home for Brett Spain. He had a three earlier in the game. That was in the second quarter.
It was a good look. As a coach, I kind of don't like it so early in the possession, especially with the lead. But it's a good look for the young guy.
Little jump shot put up for Andrean. That was Evan Kendall. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. 45-19 the score, as you can see on your screen. Got Rich Castillo running the dials over here as a three-point shot put up for Aiden Austin. Big shot needed at a big time for... I'm stepping on your court. Sorry, Coach.
Yeah, that's all right.
And this shot put up, and I was looking down. I was marking on my sheet. I didn't even see who scored that one.
I think that was Alex Austin.
Alex Austin this time. And now we got a foul called against Lake Central.
Little push off.
And we got guys jawing at each other. Mitchell and Yekic jawing, and officials getting in there. You go to these officials to get kind of in their face a little bit, saying, hey, let's back it up. Let's stop it with the words. Let's see who they do call the foul on. It was on... That is on Mitchell, so I'm sorry it's against Andrean. I thought it was based on what...
No, I think it might have been called on Yekic.
Okay, it is called on Yekic. Yes, you're right.
He's getting a little mouthy a little bit. And, as a coach, you're going to see how your team handles a little bit of adversity here see if Andrean can make a little run. But Coach Malaznik's taking Andrean's best shot right now.
And when you said don't take your foot off the gas, I think that's even more important in a game like this too, because it's early on. You want to see your team continue to build that endurance for late in the season when you start getting into those grinds of conference games, because you need to stay focused and you need to keep your abilities up late in a game after you've been bodied and you've been sweating the entire game.
Yeah, and as you've mentioned in the Doolin and in the Northwest Crossroads that the Andrean plays in, there's going to be some games where there's runs made. It's going to be ups and downs. You have to keep an even keel there and play the entire 32 minutes and stay poised when things get a little heated or a little tight.
Aiden Austin scored 3 in the first half, and he's got 6 here already in the second half. It's 9 altogether.
There you go. A little math on a Friday night.
Big brain action here.
Friday night math. Fun.
No one said there'd be math. Knocks them both down. 2 for 2 from the line today for Aiden Austin.
By clock running down here, see if they get a shot off.
He goes to the window, Beatty, and it rolls right off, and that's how the time expires. 45-26 at the end of 3. We go to the fourth quarter. We'll see how this one winds down. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Start of the fourth quarter here from Lake Central. They lead big, 45-26. And we are waiting for Andrean to come out of the huddle here. And you and I noted we see some of the players from Maryville scouting their opponent for tomorrow evening. Yeah, Andrean, they got a tough battle against Lake Central tonight. And now they got to face Maryville tomorrow. And now I think they waited too long to get the team out of the huddle here. What kind of call do we have here?
I'm not sure. Usually we put the ball down. It might have something to do with the sub they put in. If the subs need to be reported before that second buzzer goes off, a lot of you get the student bodies going at each other finally. Getting a little.
They've been drawing a little bit. Yeah, they've been drawing a little bit back and forth. Certainly the numbers are greater for Lake Central. Obviously, it's their home court. But, Andrean's got a really nice show out over there. So we're continuing to hear or to see the officials talking, and now we're talking to the assistant coaches. And I think that official wants none of that from the assistant coaches saying sit down.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell from our vantage point where we're at, but it might have had something to do with, like I said, the subs need to be reported in by the second buzzer when the officials are ready to play. Who knows? That's a guess. Just one more thing to slow the game down.
As we start the fourth quarter officially here, Jekic gives off in the corner. Now it's Clayton after getting the pass in from Colin. Cross-court pass, Colin.
I really like right there. I like how Escobedo was really working for the ball.
He lost it there.
Did lose it, but he was demanding the ball, but he did like we mentioned, he kind of brought it down and let the little guy come and get it.
Errant pass on the turnover there. Barfield loses that one. Barfield in there playing with 4 fouls.
Again, if you're Andrean, you want to just try to chip into the lead, one possession at a time.
And now we've got more officials talking to coaches, slowing the game down.
I don't know what he could be talking about now.
And one of the assistant coaches, very dramatic on the sideline over there. And he's pointing in the direction of, I don't know if it was to Coach Malosnik or if it was to the check-in table here.
Maybe is it the possession arrow? The official book.
Well, and I don't know. I guess you have to check in with the official scorekeeper. However, if they start to run in, can't the scorekeeper kind of help out and just, okay, this person ran in? To me, I think that's kind of like I don't know.
Well, my point, it's the what's the purpose of the rule? Everybody's in the game. It's a 19-point game. And the Andrean coach is arguing about something. If it's something that can be figured out while the game is going, this time we talked about game flow.
Yeah.
You got the crowd waiting for something to happen. It doesn't affect the play of what's happening on the floor, so figure it out.
And to the credit of the officials, they are trying to discuss it and try to figure it out as quickly as they possibly can.
Sure.
Escobedo fighting in the paint, trying to get at the reverse, and he does. What a fight. Brandon Escobedo.
Again, we really have no idea what they were discussing down there, but
all speculation from our perspective.
Sure.
Little nice run there. Aiden Austin there inside the paint.
He's done a good job of maintaining his scorer's mentality tonight, like we mentioned. He's just got to keep going. He's had some rough spots, but he's going to do nothing but get better. He's a nice-looking sophomore.
Escobedo pulls up for three. Rebound comes down to Bastardo. Here comes Alex Austin. Now, they really want to start getting a little ticky-tacky with calls and stopping the flow of the game. They would ask young Austin to tuck his jersey in.
Well, again, this is one of those situations where Coach Malozic, Andrean's in the bonus the rest of the way. So if Andrean keeps attacking and getting to the free throw line and scoring with the clock stop, that's not what Coach Malozic wants at this point.
Carson Collin, by the way, just picked up his fourth foul of the game. Now with 6:28, you probably keep him off for a little bit maybe, or do you just kind of let that one right out?
Yeah, he's at some point he's going to decide that, but with the lead he's got, he's got the freedom to make that choice.
Alex Austin, by the way, knocks down that first free throw, and they have said something about tucking the shirt in a little bit because he's started to tuck it in.
Kind of.
Partially.
It's like when mom and dad tell you to make your bed. Here you go. I'm done.
I have never believed in that philosophy. It's like tying your shoes after you take them off.
Right.
17-point lead. Jekic coming up the floor. Trying to feed off to Knopf. Jekic going down low to Escobedo off the window, just a little bit short. They're going to say it is Andrean basketball. Coach Malosnik not happy with that call.
That was a nice set play.
By the way, stay with us after the game as we'll name the Region Sports Network Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Escobedo got a shot that he's going to normally knock down. Lake Central's back in their 2-3 zone.
Yeah, as the lead started to dwindle a little bit there, yes, time to try to get some of those turnovers. Aiden Austin for three, hits the front iron. Mitchell that was Barfield as Clayton cleans it up off the window. From the elbow, Aiden Austin drops it down.
When you're in position that Andrean's in, that where you're shooting long shots, that gives long rebounds, and that is conducive to transition offense for Lake Central the other way.
Ethan Knopf with the basketball, gives to Clayton. He tries to ride the baseline, that stops, and we'll have a foul called here. No shot as the foul was on the floor.
So they're going to call a little Aiden Austin. Trying to do a good job of keeping the ball in front of him.
Now he can afford fouls. That's only his second.
Yeah, it's only their fifth team foul also. So
Lake Central had 8, by the way. Trying to get inbound into Escobedo. Gets swarmed as he gets the ball. Shot put up, no good. Trying to rebound at Escobedo. What a fight by Escobedo tonight. That shot still no good. Tries to originally clean it up off the shot from Smith. Trying to feed it inside now, right back in the game. Here's Aiden Austin for a three, but we have a whistle underneath. It's not on the shooter. It's going to be in the paint. But the bucket is going to count. So Aiden Austin gets the three. 14 here in the second half.
And it's Andrean basketball. They're going to shoot a 1-and-1?
I would think so, as the foul was
on Malosnik.
On Malosnik.
So shooting a 1-and-1?
Should be, because it's nine fouls for Lake Central, but who's going to the line to shoot him, I guess, is the question. Who got fouled, I guess, is the one, because that's the person who should be shooting those, not Aiden Austin.
Right. It's whoever he was trying to block out, or you can see it's early in the season for the officials also.
Yes.
This is a work in progress here. They're trying to figure out who their shooter was.
And was it, well, now they're telling everybody to back up. Was this? Well, I'm all confused now. This has been one to definitely. So is it a technical foul? Now, see, my question is, why is Aiden Austin the one? If it was a technical foul, it could be any shooter, right?
Was he the one fouled? Did they foul the shooter?
It didn't look like it.
I thought it happened in the lane.
That's what I thought. So now Aiden Austin gets to shoot or makes that free throw, I should say.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I got nothing.
There's something called, when the ball's in the air like that, I believe there's something called a team control foul.
But even in that particular case, you would think that Lake Central's players would be able to go into the lane because it would be so this had to have been a technical of some kind.
Yeah, it had to be at this point. That's a pretty big swing. It's a 12-point game at this point.
And we have a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Yeah, it's one thing to try to speculate up here, and that's all we can do from this perspective because we are so far away from the scorer's table.
Yeah.
And we've had on a couple of occasions where officials will try to relay to us what things are, but we're too far away from the officials for them to try to relay anything, and we're just too far away for it because then the crowd starts looking at what they're saying, and that can get a little dicey. And
yeah. But no matter, this is Coach Maloznik's worst nightmare right now. It's like we've said, they've scored 5 points this possession, and they still have the basketball. And the clocks have stopped. This is what we talk about. You got to stay focused for 32 minutes and not worry about the scoreboard and play basketball. But this is...
Well, and this is one of the things where, you talk about Lake Central keeping their foot on the gas pedal. They haven't really been all that great here in this second half. I mean, they've scored... 15 points in the second half.
Yeah, it's just the game has just had a weird flow to it.
That one blocked, no call there. And now we have a whistle as Alex Austin was down.
What did he just call? Is it a bench warning?
Yeah, I am all sorts confused as to what the officials are calling down here. So it's going to be so Lake Central had a chance to bring it up down the floor, killed a lot of momentum there as they were bringing it up the floor because now they got to bring it all the way across court.
Andrean's picking up full court.
As they should in this particular case. You're up or you're down by 12.
Yeah.
Try to get turnovers if you can. So no spacing to not make a call there. Jaden Clayton trying to drive into the lane. Has his pocket picked. Aiden Austin almost having his pocket picked. Dorian Beatty right around him there. Lets him get across the timeline. Alex Austin trying to feed it, and it gets... Oh, they're going to say it's out of... Before he got rid of the basketball, he stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, he stepped on the baseline. Kind of ran out of territory, yeah.
And that's a lucky call because as he got rid of the basketball, it was knocked out of bounds by Ethan Knopf, and now we're going to have a timeout taken by Coach Maloznik, and it'll be a 30-second timeout. So we can certainly try to figure out what these officials are calling down there, and I think we're just going to hurt our brains trying to think about what's going on down there. In any case, it's starting to get interesting when it boils down to it.
It's a 12-point game. That's something that could be made up. This was they are quietly sneaking back into this game.
Yeah, this was a 20-plus point possession lead for Lake Central, and I think if the student sections were in it a little bit more, maybe that would create a little bit more flair, but there's so much stoppage. How can you get into this game?
Yeah, and like we said, the officials are early season form for them as well, and not to say they're doing a poor job, but they're communicating well, and there's been a lot of stoppages, and
it just feels so technical.
Yeah.
I guess that full court pressure is back on.
See if they trap here. They're going to trap the corners. Middles of the Lake Central wants to try to get the ball in the middle right there.
And now you got Smith on the left side there. He can't get trapped there, but he does have an open lane. Clayton had it open for three, but here comes Dorian Beatty in the corner for three. Knocks it down. Big shot for Lake Central.
That was a great decision by Clayton. You could tell he didn't want to shoot it. He was wide open, but he's usually probably open for a reason,
Yeah.
They're going to let you shoot that.
Mitchell
He stepped out of bounds.
He stepped out of bounds there.
We'll see if that was Andrean. Like we mentioned, that might have been Andrean's best punch, and Lake Central's weathered the storm here a little bit. They just got to continue to get good possessions and keep that clock rolling.
That's one of the things. If you can weather some of these storms early on here, that's really going to be a benefactor when you start getting into conference play late in the season.
Yeah, that's a lesson that Coach Malosnik can teach and use this game for, is they worked their way through a couple spots of adversity.
Yeah, because definitely, I mean, you've had a lead the majority of the game, but this has been physical for both teams.
Right.
Smith fakes, gives to Clayton.
They're being very patient with the basketball now. Again, Andrean can't score if they don't have the ball. And you're up by 15, so the clock is your friend.
Knopf for three, hits the tug of the basket. Rebound comes down to Clayton, and a foul going to be taken against Andrean. And it looks like it might be Alex Austin who gets called for the foul.
They're going to shoot. Well, that's a 6-team foul.
Yep, so no 1-1 just yet. That is the second foul for Alex Austin. Justin Smith on the inbound. Oh, hits it too strong. Can't get it to go. Here comes Mitchell now. He's all alone, basically. Has it stolen away by Beatty. Here comes Jekic, who loses it, but Clayton able to keep. He pulls up the jumper, gets fouled, and the bucket falls.
Again, I'm going by Coach Malosnik's reaction over there, but I think he would like his boys to pull the ball out and run some time. He's happy the ball went in, but he doesn't look real happy with how their game's being managed right now by his kids.
Third foul on Mitchell for Andrean. And that was the 7th foul, so the completion there, as Clayton went to the line for the three-point play, the old-style way. That one no good on the roll from Aiden Austin there. And we will have another stoppage here. It's either on Mitchell or Austin with the bump.
What did they do?
Or did they call it?
Did someone call a timeout?
It must have been a timeout, and it's going to be a full timeout. There is still a foul committed against Aiden Austin, but it is a full timeout, so we will step aside. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Blythe's Athletics in Valparaiso, whose team has been serving your team since 1959, is a leader in athletic apparel and equipment sales. Whether it's off the rack or customized to your specifications, Blythe's has the products and staff to serve you best. Trophies, embroidering, screen printing, athletic shoes, anything you're looking for, you'll find at Blythe's. Visit them today at teamblythes.com, where the athlete shops.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. 2:41 left to go in this one between Lake Central and Andrean. Jaden Clayton to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. He knocks the first one down. Two for two from the line for Jaden Clayton, and he's 3 for 3 overall from the line tonight.
Lake Central's back in this zone. It's been giving Andrean fits all night.
Mitchell jump shot. Can't get it to fall. Rebound comes down to Bastardo. Here's Alex Aiden for three. It's no good. Mitchell with the rebound. Waits for the defense. He knocks one down. if they're going to get back into this game, you got to keep getting them on the boards.
Yeah, that's against the zone. There are offensive rebound opportunities there.
Smith just drops one down into the bucket. Nice pass. That was from Ethan Knopf there as the lead grows back to 20 for Lake Central. Here's a three for Alex Austin. Got his own rebound. Now trying to figure out what they want to draw up here, what they want to run here with under 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, they haven't shot it particularly well tonight, and that's probably why Coach Malaznik decided to go back to the zone and give them that opportunity to continue to shoot it from the outside.
Mitchell tried for three. Beatty trying to drive into the lane. No whistle. They're just going to say out of bounds.
Again, if you're Coach Malaznik, you're up by 20. This is going to be used as a teachable moment probably tomorrow during film. A minute and a half left. There's no sense in forcing it 1-on-3. Run some clock.
And I think he's telling his guys, please don't foul. With all this time still left, and double dribble against Bastardo, as we will see a bunch of check-ins here for Lake Central. Looks like Malaznik, Williams, Spain, and then Lloyd is in the game.
I thought Ethan Knopf did a really nice job tonight. He was much more active offensively in the first half, but he did a great job of mixing it up inside and defending Andrean's bigs all night.
So Beatty and Williams are both sophomores. I can tell you they went to two different middle schools within the Lake Central School Corporation and played a fantastic championship tournament game for conference tournament game, Grimmer versus Clark. Those two battled in that game as Beatty smacks that one out of bounds, and it goes into the student section, and some of the students took objection to that.
I think the ball went up there pretty hard. So
and I can tell it did hit a young lady, a female student.
Yeah.
Trying to get this one inbound. Mills, Alex Austin here. Gives to Aiden Austin up for three. Thought he got fouled. Mills with the rebound, off the window, and he gets fouled.
It's good work there by Mills, keeping the ball active and staying active for the offensive glass. That's a good job by the big man.
Foul is on Lloyd. Will send Mills to the line to complete a three-point play. It's no good, and we have another whistle and another push. And they're saying it's Lake Central ball, as the foul was on Mitchell. So because that's the ninth foul, it's a 1-and-1 situation.
Yep.
So Xavier will
intentional foul. No, I don't think so.
Instead of playing off the ball, so they're saying, yeah, you guys do have to get up to the line here. So it'll be Xavier Williams to shoot. I'm trying to see the number. I believe that's Rhett Peters checking in. The student section happy about that one here for Lake Central. Williams a little short on the first free throw. Mitchell trying to go to the window. And a blocking foul against Lake Central with 54.9 seconds left. Looks like Coach Malaznik over there just getting a little antsy. He's like, let's just get out of this game.
Yep.
59-41. Mitchell will go to the line. The foul was on Lloyd. Mitchell can't connect on the first free throw. It's one of three tonight.
Yeah, Coach Malaznik's up 18 with under a minute left. He's still teaching. That's a good coach. That's what he's going to do, and that's why he's got a nice program year in and year out.
And why he's been around for 18 seasons.
Sure.
Lloyd doing it across court, very close there to stepping out of bounds, and they did step out of bounds with Brett Spain. But only 5 seconds ticked off the clock. That's probably not so much that he stepped out of bounds, but because they didn't run any more time off the clock.
Yep. Again, this will be something that Coach Malaznik talks about and playing with the lead and getting out of there with the keep the clock rolling.
Austin gets fouled by Malosnik. Coach's kid to coach's kid.
Yep, no dessert for you, buddy. Keep the clock moving. Keep your hands up. Don't reach.
One of those gifts under the tree. It's getting removed.
Yep, no stocking stuffer for you.
Aiden Austin knocks that one down.
Aiden Austin had a really nice second half. I'm impressed by this young guy. Like we said, he's a 5'7" sophomore. Going to have a nice season and a nice career at Andrean. He did a good job tonight.
4 of 4 from the line here in this fourth quarter. 6 of 6 overall in the game. Not too shabby for Aiden Austin tonight. And another foul, this time by Aiden Austin. It's one of those games that just won't end.
We're there.
Because I am eagerly anticipating our award winners tonight. We'll have the Crowd Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, brought to you by the Crowd Companies. Proud to recognize these superheroes on the basketball court. We'll have the Play of the Game presented by IKOR-CC. And it may actually just be the final second of the game that might be the Play of the Game. I don't know. We'll see.
Might have to start a new foul. Whoever has the fewest fouls, you win an award tonight.
Malosnik knocks both of his down. Foul, by the way, was on Aiden Austin. That is his fourth, but with 20-something seconds left. Not the major bone of concern here. And they're going to call a backcourt violation. So now the clock has 18.4 seconds left. It'll be an inbound play here.
I was just going to say, good win for Lake Central. Early season win. It's never easy, and Andrean's going to have a nice year. They got in some early foul trouble and had to play some personnel people that some combinations that they probably haven't worked on much in practice, but they're going to be okay. They have nice guard play, and at the 2A level, and in their conference, they're going to be a handful. Yeah,
absolutely. So the final score as the clock winds down here, Lake Central wins it 61-44. We will step aside for just a moment. We'll bring you our award winners on the other side of that timeout. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Hold on.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Just finished up a dandy between Lake Central and Andrean, 61-44. The final was starting to get a little interesting in that third quarter, but Lake Central was able to weather the storm and get the victory, 61-44. Early game action, so a lot of whistles, a lot of contact, but overall a lot learned in this game tonight.
Yeah, again, we've talked about it, but this will be a good film for both teams tomorrow morning to watch, and a lot of learning, teachable moments here in this game. Lake Central trying to kill the clock, and Andrean, how they reacted and got in foul trouble, and how they can try to stay out of foul trouble next time around.
All right, let's go ahead and let's name our Crowd Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game. The Crowd Companies have offices open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday, and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
I went with the number 32 junior, 6'3", Brandon Escobedo. He had 15 tonight, was active on the glass, and did a great job in the lane for the Indians.
All right, so Brandon Escobedo, your Crowd Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. Definitely was bumping and grinding down there in the paint and really putting himself in a position to get those rebounds and points as well. All right, let's go ahead and name our play of the game presented by IKORC. Learn more at IKORCC.com.
I went with the at the 138 point of the second quarter. Miles Yekic had that nice spinning layup there in transition for Lake Central and really kept the momentum going. At that point, they were really pulling away from Andrean. So it was just one more thing to continue the momentum that Lake Central was building at that point. So that's our play of the game.
Yeah, really, really nice play by Yekic there. All right, let's go ahead and name our Region Sports Network Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I went with the Andrean point guard, number 5, Aiden Austin. Sophomore, 5'7". He ended up with 21. When we said he had 16 in the second half. Did a great job of persevering through tough times. And, again, this is going to be a film that he likes and that he's going to build from and only get better. And he's going to be a fun one to watch over the next 3 years.
Yeah, 18 points in that second half, 6 of 6 from the line in the second half. Certainly really try to get that momentum going for Andrean in that second half of the game. Just wasn't enough to really propel them to get a little bit closer other than 12 points.
Yeah, he did a nice job.
Yeah, for sure. All right, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, coordinating producer, Nathan Laird, your broadcast crew tonight, myself, Michael Brenner, along with Coach Doug Nelson. Coach, great to be with you again. Yep. Our game producer tonight, Rich Castillo. Video, Brandon Root, always does a great job. Big thanks to Chris Enyard, to the AD here at Lake Central, for the great facilities that we get to broadcast from. And then, of course, Dave Malosnik and Aaron Austin, the head coaches for Lake Central and Andrean. And then, of course, thank you, the viewers, on Facebook.com/RegionSports and RegionSports.com. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So thank you for tuning in tonight and supporting us. We'll have more basketball coming up. We got wrestling tomorrow right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.